Hello and welcome. So this video is just a very short video giving you a update as to what I've done. As you can see, I'm showing you the new and improved paint job I've given the loft. I wanted to make it a bit brighter. I was umming and ahhing about painting it for such a long time that I really wasn't sure about doing it, but I was talking to a couple of people who really recommended it for several reasons. One, that brick wall, I basically sealed it now to prevent any brick dust getting in. And secondly, it just brightens the place up and helps again bounce the light around. And a third thing is those beams were a little bit dirty, so I've cleaned them and painted them.
Something else I've purchased is 2 more little strip lights. They're just about a foot and a half long each, maybe. I'm not sure if I get the same measure up. Just to add a little bit more light into some of the darker areas, which will be when the baseboard goes across there. I'm going to put one just to put a bit more light here, and also, although it's quite bright over there, because it's going to be the main area, I'm thinking about putting another one over there, or maybe sort of in the future I'll put one underneath here, one underneath here to like the bits that go across here, and again where I am now. So that's one thing I will be doing. And now, as you can probably see in the corner there, a bit of a baseboard. I've managed to get the first 3 baseboards up along there. So they're now running. They're not in their exact left-right position. I need to fine tweak that. But it's all done. You can see the legs are all on. And you'll notice there isn't 4 legs on each table. They're joined by 2 bolts and 2 screws as well, because the screws alone aren't going to be strong enough and the bolts will help that. So that table has just 2 legs on the end. The table in the middle has 4 legs, and that table on the end just has 2 legs, and it's bolted and screwed together there and there. It's a little bit fiddly, but all you have to do is just get a couple of clamps like that, line the boards up, and then clamp them, and then drill through and bolt it while the clamp's still on, and that way. Okay, so I've jumped ahead quite a bit because doing what I've been doing has been quite repetitive and also quite difficult to film, as I've been doing it on my own. So I've had my hands full. And this is the station area, which I think was put up in the last video. So we'll work anti-clockwise. Then we've got the 1-foot boards going down the side, which gives me enough clearance under that beam there to allow locos through, and still enough height to get underneath to the back area, around the back there, and to the other area. It's a little bit dark there because the wood's shadowing it. Then we come through into what will be the dock area. And as you can see, this baseboard is further forward. It has to be because of the water tank and some pipe work. I always knew that was going to be the case, so it juts out a bit further forward, but that is not the end of the world for me, because there'll be a backboard to go around there anyway, and just means forces me to be a little bit more creative when it comes to the scenery. I'm going to put a light in there to brighten that area up, and then obviously because this beam, it then comes into a narrower length again and comes back round to the other side and across through and back round. So it's all up. On a few of the legs I've had to use these adjusters, which I got from eBay. I've got like 12 for, I think it was like 12 quid or 14 quid, I can't remember. As you can see, they just help bring the legs up to make sure that this is all level, which it is. The baseboards themselves are joined with bolts, 2 bolts. As you can see, I've also drilled the hole for the wiring loom, and then you can't see it on this side, but in the corner there I put 2 screws in as well, just for good measure. They're not taking any weight. The weight is done with the legs, so you make sure that the legs are all supporting the weight, and then all the bolts and the screws are doing are just putting it together. There's no up down weight on those bolts or leg screws. They are literally just pulling together, so make sure that they're not actually loading any weight Talking of which, you'll see that this middle area is not supported. It's braced, screwed, and it is properly weight tested. I've sat on it and it's fine. So that is all good. The only thing that is left to do baseboard wise is just put the triangles in, which run from there to there and there to there. I've just got to physically cut them and then bolt them into place. And that's pretty much it for baseboards. Obviously the front of these needs a lick of paint or something. But I believe it or not, even though the stamps are on there, they were actually the better looking sides of the wood compared to the other side. So some of them look a bit rough, some of them look pretty good. But I'll probably give it a lick of paint anyway, maybe white just to match the rest of it. But yeah, so all I've got left to do is put the triangles in, wire in 3 more lights for the electrics, and then I can actually start doing what all this work has been for so far, and laying down some track and building a model railway. So yeah, I can't really think of much else to say. It's a pretty short video, but hopefully the last video will sort of explain how I made them, and then it's just a case of putting them together, which I didn't, as I said, couldn't really film and thought it would be a bit boring. If you do have any questions, please do comment, and I'll do my best to answer them as best I can as to what I did. Okay, so I did on both sides, and they are rock solid. They are not going anywhere, and all I've done is I've used a couple of just some of these sort of support clips. They literally pull it in and down, and then put a supporting leg at the front to stop it wobbling. And the one at the back there, I had to put a second leg in just because of where the floor is. But again, that is rock solid, not going anywhere. So now the woodwork is complete. I've hopefully got some points for hands turning up today, and I've just got to crack on with the rest of it. But now it's just a case of tidying it all out and going on. So yeah, just a very quick one, but that is just to say it's all now finished and ready to start building. Okay, so there is just one other thing I need to add, which is I've added a light there, and over there on the camera you can sort of see the hot spots, but to the eye it's actually quite well diffused. This area is a bit bright, but that is going to be quite a big scenery area anyway, like where the main station and that is, so that's fine. It's a little bit darker here, but oh, excuse the floor. There's enough light there for now. I probably will end up adding another light on the underside, but for now, I mean, I managed to pick those two up at a bargain price. So I just wanted to get them in, and then as and when I get more lights, I'll add those in. But for now, I've got 3 lights running on the loft up here, and that is quite good. So that is the final build complete, which I'm quite pleased and happy with. Tied it up a little bit, but overall it's looking quite good. My points have just turned up from hands, so the rest is now building the railway.